We're back!
Working on it, back with a working on it,
Working on it, working on it, working on it.
I've been working on it. Working on it. I've been working on it. Working on it.
Yars.
Dude, so
Dude, I'm so excited about today.
the best. It's the best. But yo, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. Let's talk about it.
We went to his
The last
show at the Forum in Los Angeles. And let me tell you,
Wow, wooey.
that was the greatest concert I've ever seen.
Greatest concert of my life.
The vibes are immaculate. Just the energy.
It's just happy love.
It's just happiness.
Bliss,
I've never seen bliss, happiness, like it was unbelievable.
With that
to
many
me.
people,
That many
too?
people.
Yeah.
Conga lines, square dancing. I was like, how?
I saw these girls like dancing their ass off in the
Yeah.
corner, and I
You
was
were
like, they
"What?
okay?
They're dancing. I was like, it's a
'Cause
concert.
it looked like they were throwing out their back, and they like. There was so much space on the floor, which I appreciate and love at concerts, but they had all the room they needed to, like,
yeah.
crazy
You
dance,
could be,
and I
you know,
loved it.
up against the stage, or you just could be a little outside
Float
and GA just
around,
float
yeah.
around and vibe.
It was nice.
And we just had perfect seats where we could see everything, and
we had them fancy seats.
He's just like, I have a portal, you're in my portal.
Yeah, somebody's got to
And we're
find
going
this clip. It was so
we're
bizarre
going to
and
connect
amazing.
portals.
He could
and
say,
I'm inside your portal.
Dude,
I was locked in.
He could say anything like mustard, and I'd be like, oh, like the first 5 minutes I turned to Daryl, I was like, God, he's hot. And he's like, I know, he's so hot. He's just like the most gorgeous, perfect man.
Yeah,
and so smooth, so cool.
Dude, he's just catching hats.
Someone threw up a hat.
On.
He got it like it was
Yeah.
choreo.
The boas,
started dancing.
You had to explain to J-Train
Oh my
what a
God,
boa
guys.
was.
Okay, on our way there, I was like, oh, so heads up, I hope someone comes out tonight, because at his concerts, a lot of concerts, someone will be like, please help me come out, and he'll take a boa, which is a feathery necklace, and put it up in the air and celebrate, and it's a beautiful moment, and I wanted to see that. And I'm telling my younger brother this, and I'm like, you know what a boa is, right? And he looked dead in my face and was like, a snake. And I was like, excuse me,
She was talking about a real
asshole?
snake.
I was like, no.
To his defense, I didn't know what it was either, but my first instinct wasn't like, oh yeah, like a boa constructor.
Duh, Harry's gonna bring out a boa, a snake.
A snake.
Duh, to help someone come out. Oh my God. I was like, no, you idiot.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot that night, and we had the best time ever. Harry was on
Dude.
10.
It was crazy. That boy puts on
a show. My mom went to the show the night before and was like, he needs to wear a Fitbit
Yeah,
because
he
he
should
just
count
runs
all
all
those
over the place.
steps. He must
He
do
is.
20,000 steps.
He must be 10,000 steps. And he really does. He gives it his all. It got me. It inspired me so much. I can't wait to get on stage again. And stage is a scary place for me because I never feel like I could keep up physically. Especially with my voice too. Well, you saw burping in his microphone, bruh. That's a spot. It's okay. I do it all the time. But yeah, I can't wait to be on stage with that energy, with the crowd screaming these lyrics. This crowd hurt my ears. Like I had to cover my ears a lot.
Yo, it's crazy.
It's a loud
The girls
audience.
screaming. It's like a different.
Like if you go to Harry
It's
Styles show in the
not-
future, bring, what are they called?
Earplugs?
Bring earplugs.
Nah, tough it out. Enjoy the show.
I don't know. My ears were ringing.
There's just a couple moments where it's like, oops, I had to cover my ears one
Yeah,
time. I was
dude.
like,
I look like a 3-year-old. Like, it was loud.
ear-piercing screams. Impressive,
Screams.
really.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, we had the best time there.
Yeah, and it was like our first time out and about at an event in like 3
and
years.
he starts at 9 p.m. and we are grandparents, man.
I was like, I gotta take a nap. I want golfing
I took
in
a
the
shot of
morning.
espresso. I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. We were so tired, but we just like shot up alive. When we shot up. We just got alive when we got there when he started playing the music.
You know, we
What
saw
else
some
is
cool
going on?
people.
We saw some
Humble
cool
brags,
people.
You know,
John Mayer,
Halsey, you know,
Halsey.
like
Gorgeous.
classic.
I went in scrubs. Well, actually, I was wearing my Pleasing hoodie. That's very hard to get, but I got one. It's Hairstyles merch. But yeah, everyone was dressed to the what's it called? The 9? I don't know phrases, but I was looking.
I mean, you got the light up cowboy
I had no
hats.
makeup on.
Well, you can wear. We wear the masks the whole time.
That's why I didn't put makeup on.
You can.
I was like, they ain't gonna see my face anyways.
Yeah, and you can pretend to know every single word.
That was the best part. If I didn't know every single word, I was like,
yeah,
you can't tell I'm not singing. You know.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was a good time. Anyways, what's going on in your life? You all right? You okay? You good? Check in.
A classic check-in. I like
check-in.
this.
You all right?
Check-in.
Check-in.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Hanging out with my friends again, going golfing with my friends, just, crawling back into society, even though I went to a party and it sucked and I got sick, so.
You did? You got the worst sinus infection.
I had the worst sinus infection.
I was like,
by the way, sinus infection, regular or cold, turns out every symptom of Delta.
Yeah.
So I'm in panic mode for 3 days straight. Like, I need another test.
Yeah,
He
kept testing.
And I said at the party, I go, I swear to God, if I get COVID because of this stupid fucking LA party, I am going to hate myself for a very long time. I lucked out. Did not get COVID. You can still get colds, folks. Colds and sinus.
I recently am in a new journey to figure out what's wrong with my body. I have a lot of uterus or a lot of pain down there. I was jogging the other day. I got inspired by you. I know. And I was like,
I told you. I
had
told
a
you,
hobble.
don't run. It's bad for you.
It's so bad for you, dude. I don't know, man.
Walk
I'll never be a
treadmill.
jogger. I walked 5 miles the next day. Fine.
Some people are built for it. We are not them.
But I texted my doctor. I was like, something's wrong. When I have a bowel movement, hurts. Like going down my tubes. I don't know tubes? I don't know. Anyways, I'm feeling a lot of weird pain and I'm scared. And I went to the doctor this morning to get felt like an arm up my body to check it out. Ultrasound. Nothing. No cysts, no nothing. Perfectly healthy uterus.
What does this mean then?
I think it's like my pelvic floor is like in pain.
Oh, that's a J-train topic.
I know. Our younger brother has pelvic floor issues, and I'm just like, how do I fix this? So
you got to go on a
if
little
y'all
journey.
know what this is, I'm having weird pains every now and then, or I can feel everything, like the walls. But my doctor was like, a lot of people don't know your intestines are like up in there too, like
so
down
maybe
there.
You ate something funky?
No, it's like maybe my body's not used to pooping so well because of my Just Thrive probiotics. Check them out. Twice a day. Like
can't do an episode without pooping.
Yeah. I'm a proud pooper.
Oh, I like that. Proud pooper. That's a shirt.
I had that. That's a shirt. Shirt? Proud pooper.
Oh.
Well, great. Well, today we're talking all about dreams.
Dreams.
I'm so excited. We have
life. Energy.
Spirituality.
Power.
The power. Ooh, how
self-love.
I think I'm psychic. We're gonna find out today.
Psychics. Okay, today we have a lovely guest, Theresa Cheung.
Theresa Cheung. Hi, Theresa. You're all the way in London, right?
I am. Well, actually Windsor, where the castle is. So that's about half an hour outside London, but pretty close.
Wow. Thank you so much for your time. We know it's 9 p.m. So disrespectful of us to start this late.
No,
I'm so
actually,
sorry.
It's about 8. No, it's 10 past 8. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 10 past 8.
That makes
I feel
a big
better. I
difference.
feel better. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. And we're huge fans. And you're awesome. And we have so many questions. But first, for our listeners, can you tell us exactly what you do?
Oh, thank you. First of all, I'm in awe of you two. So thank you for having me here. Really, I am. My kids were like, oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Tell them I said hi.
It's like normally with what I do, it's like, yeah. And I said, well, you know who I'm going to speak to? And they were like, what? Suddenly
we
I'm
got one.
You're cool. You're cool, Megan.
Wow.
But anyway, I've been around forever. I've written hundreds of books about the mystical aspect of our lives. But in the last few years, especially, I've done a massive amount of media because of the lockdown dream phenomenon, because of my dream dictionary has gone all over the world. I've had 2 Sunday Times top 10 bestsellers writing about dreams, spirituality, mysticism, and the inside out approach to life rather than the outside in. But I'm mainly known now as a dream decoder. I decode a lot of celebrity dreams, and I help people understand that every night they have a nocturnal therapist within them trying to help them fall in love with themselves. I want people to stop fearing dreams and to start working with them.
That's nice. I needed to hear that because I have mostly nightmares every night.
Gift.
And
priceless gift. Priceless gift.
Priceless
nightmares.
gift.
Yes.
Ooh.
They are. Yeah. Transformational gifts. And we can go deep into that if you want to. nightmares.
I'm so excited.
I have so many questions for you because you're my favorite guest of all times. Because first of all, I'm just gonna bullet point them out. First of all, I'm horrifically afraid of death, and I'm terrified. Don't know what happens after. Also, I think that I have visions sometimes, and I think I'm super special because most of my visions come true, and I can see things that happened, and then they happen. Even down to subtle things where I'm the other day I had a nightmare that I was going to be exposed to COVID, and then I gave it to my whole family. The next day, I was exposed to COVID. So
you
I was
had that dream? I didn't know.
I had that dream the night before.
Whoa.
I had a vision of me accepting my Grammy, and I saw what it looked like and felt like. And I was in a taxi cab ride fading away, and I saw that, and I got so excited, and it didn't feel like a daydream. It felt like something different. It was weird. I never told anyone. And then in that moment when I won the Grammy, it was the exact same picture. And I was like, oh my goodness, colors, everything. I don't know. So...
Bliss. I love hearing this because, you are clearly highly sensitive, intuitive, potentially psychic. I believe we all have that in our DNA. We do.
Oh, no.
Yes, we
do. But most of us bury our heads in the sand and let our conscious reality, material world, ego, logic and reason squash it. The voices of logic and reason, which we've been told from an early age by parents and carers, dreams don't make sense, concentrate, don't trust your gut, just, follow your reason and logic. And those voices squash most of our faith in our intuition, which we have. But you, of course, being a musician, inclined to the creative arts and everything, where you have to suspend disbelief. That's what you do. It's about, flying in that magical world of possibilities. So you're naturally more in tune to it, as most musicians are. So really, you just need to trust it, not fear it. And working with your dreams can really help you do that. It's your passport to infinite possibility, and it's your passport to fulfillment and more joy than you can ever realize through material accomplishments. Because you must know you've had great success in your very young life. That's great. But, you can just repeat that success there. And I think what COVID has shown the whole world is that you can't find lasting happiness through material stuff, through work success, even through relationships, unless there's that inner sense of completeness and wholeness first. And dreams are pointing the way to try and help us do that, to become whole from the inside out. Because the material stuff is great. We're here on this earth to experience, to learn and to evolve and to fulfill our many gifts. But without a sense of meaning and purpose, what is the point? Because we're all going to die at the end, Right. We're all going to pass.
Will you tell me what you think happens when we die?
Well, I've written book after book about that, many, many books, and I've worked with scientists and neuroscientists researching near-death experiences. It's absolutely fascinating. The short answer is we don't know for sure. The long answer is that there's more and more research suggesting that consciousness, that's the part of us that exists in our dreams and our memories and our emotions, may survive bodily death. There is the near-death studies research by Dr. Sam Parnia, which shows that consciousness, that spark, that life, may survive up to 3 minutes after brain and body death. And more research is being done. On top of that, you've got all these anecdotal stories from people who have died, been on the brink of death. They're basically, their heart stops, their brain stops, and they come back with these incredible visions and stories. Now,
yes.
in times past, we wouldn't have heard these stories because resuscitation techniques were not there.
Yeah.
So they would have taken, although, it dates right back to the time of Plato, the first near-death experience story. But right now, because resuscitation is getting so good, it's almost becoming commonplace of people having these remarkable stories. And sometimes they tell, stories about their life, and they learn things on the other side that's impossible for them to know, logically.
Yeah, I've heard so many of those stories where they can see their body and see everyone working on them and to the point where they can't they'll say, I remember that doctor with the red beard, and they never met them, but that was the person who saved her life,
Whoa.
Crazy stuff you can't explain.
It's consciousness, call it mind, call it spirit, call it soul, existing independent of your body and your brain. Now, that's a really, really far out thought. And I understand that a lot of people don't want to go there. It's quite alarming. But if you think, when you close your eyes and you say, think of someone you love who's far away, you're connecting to them in that you have a memory and image. That's consciousness. What's going on there? The ability to time travel as well. When you can think back to your past, you can see yourself as a child. Or you can think of loved ones who've departed. You see them in your mind's eye. That's a form of connection, a form of time travel, which science actually is researching. And of course, you know, for people who are new to all this, just go and watch the Disney movie Soul. And I happen to know
that movie.
I happen to know the science team who were called in by Disney to inform them about the afterlife scenes. Dr. Lauren Carpenter, who co-founded Pixar, I've interviewed him, and he is a physicist who researches near-death, spirituality, mysticism. And you can see that filtering into Disney at the moment. There are a lot of them really interested in the mystical aspect of our lives, that movie Inside Out as well.
Love that one.
These scientists are really delving deep into what is consciousness. And if you've ever actually, I worked in a hospice before I went to university. If you've ever had the privilege of sitting with people when they pass, it's like a light goes out and it's no longer them when they've passed. It's like they've taken a jacket off. It's like something has gone. And I think that Disney movie Soul really captured that spark. And that's what I write about. What is that spark? And it's once you start falling in love with this kind of research, you're never bored because it's infinite.
I'm so obsessed with it. I always YouTube like also past lives and stuff. What do you think about that stuff? Like when there's a 4-year-old kid born in America who was like, no, I was an Irish boy and here's my house, and he literally can bring his family there and be like, I had 2 daughters and a dog and this was my job, and they like find the person. Come on, bro, it's amazing. Is that real? What do you think about that?
Well, the University of Virginia specializes in reincarnation research. It was pioneered by Dr. Ian Stevenson there. He's passed now, but other people are continuing this research. They have a massive database of particularly children's stories, actually, where you can't explain it away by parents telling them, because sometimes they're so young, or culture or religious symbolism. They just seem to have a knowledge of a life. And then when the researchers go away, they find out that it's almost all of it's true. There's a whole database of research there. But basically, if you believe that consciousness can survive bodily death, exist independent of brain and bodily death, of course, it explains the possibility of reincarnation, that spark can re-enter and be reborn. We don't know. I mean, as I always say, there's no 100% proof that the afterlife is real, but there's no 100% proof by scientists or skeptics that it isn't real. We're not going to know. We're not going to know till we cross over. Thing
that helps me sleep at night.
Don't fear death, because basically every night when you go to sleep, you're kind of having a mini death.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think I lucked out. I don't fear death at all.
I think it's because all the psychedelics you took.
I guess.
Like, you know how they say you just need to go have a DMT? What's it called? You need to go have a trip.
I never did that one, but I've done like mushrooms, too many mushrooms for sure. You kind of...
Yeah, especially in California, when I tell people like, oh, I have a crazy fear of death. They're like, dude, you need to like chill out and be with your favorite people and take a bunch of psychedelics. It'll help you like erase that fear. I don't get it.
I'm not going to...
I'm way too scared. I'm not doing that. I don't recommend it.
It gave me a sense of like everything is one, you know, like we're all kind of all molecules floating around this space and time. And I don't know. I think there is probably a sense of pure bliss when you go. I think it's like all good energy.
I think either way, like everything I've seen, like you're talking about, where a lot of people die and come back, and they say similar stories where like it's like a big trip, but of pure happiness and beautifulness, and you can meet. A lot of people say like my soul family is up there wherever you go next, and you meet everyone you love. And some nurses on even TikTok say when I'm with people who are about to die, they say, "Oh my God, my relatives there. Do you see them too?" Like, and they're like, "It's okay. They're helping me cross over or something." And I'm like, that's how I hope it goes down, bro. I hope my mommy comes to get me. I hope everyone's waiting for me like a big party.
Am I going to be stuck with you forever?
Fuck yeah, dude. We're soul brothers.
You are linked. But just a few things to address there. First of all, fear of death. Anyone who who does feel like that. There's a documentary on Netflix called Last Breath about a deep sea diver who went into a saturation tank and was cut off from the umbilical cord and effectively died, but he was miraculously saved. And what he says about what he experienced can really take away the sting of death. First of all, there's that. And what you were saying also about seeing loved ones when you cross over, even Steve Jobs in his biography, I believe written by his sister, I'm not sure, she was with him when he passed, and he looked over her shoulder and his last words were, "Oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow." What was he seeing? Wow. You know, that's incredible. But, you know, I've had so many stories sent to me over the years because as I collate a lot of these parting vision stories, afterlife, you know, near-death experience stories. And it does seem that you are met by all the people you've had the strongest connection with. You have a life review, you're drawn towards a tunnel. But of course, this is all great because everybody says, what about people who are murderers or evil or serial killers, the Hitlers, right. You know, do they get all that as well? I'm often asked that. You know, it seems like everybody gets bliss at heaven. It's like, you know, but what people say, you know, mediums or psychics that I talk to about this, they say that actually people who have done great wrong in their lives, you get to feel on the other side, because the only currency on the other side is emotion. You get to feel the hurt that you have caused others. So but it's all for, there's no hell as such. Right. It seems that the afterlife is about learning, and the purpose of people who've done great evil is they have to learn empathy, because that's what they're not learning. And the only way is to see. And it seems that on the other side, you get the impact of your actions, your words on others. You feel it. So that's quite an awesome thought.
Yeah, I've heard stuff of people passing saying like, yeah, and then it was like I got a big flashbook of my entire life. Like I got to see everything I ever went through in a really short amount of time.
Don't want that.
Yes, I want that. And it's kind of like your report card. It's like, how'd you do down there, buddy? You want to try again? You know? I would love that.
I already lived it.
It's quite an awesome thought to think that.
And then when I think about
I say to people,
when I think about stories, like even people went on Oprah were saying like, I'm terrified of the ocean because in my past life I think I died at a young age, like by drowning, you know. When I think about that, I go, oh, my past life must have been horrific because we're thriving in this one, you know. Like I got way too many blessings on me that I'm like, I must have been murdered at a young age. Like I must have not had any chances back then.
You're living in line with who you truly are. And when you do that, when you actually be who you truly are, the universe brings magic to you. A lot of people's unhappiness is because they're not being true to who they are. If you want a happy life, you've got to believe that what you're doing every day is authentically you.
I think that's why my life has gotten better.
Isn't it gotten better?
Yeah.
This is my favorite episode of all time.
I was just like a party boy for the last 10 years. And I, towards the last few years, I'm like kind of over this. This doesn't feel real, you know. It's nothing, you know. It's like quick hits of dopamine, not fulfilling. Like there's no long-term goodness from this. I'm kind of sick of these people in my circles, and I was just like, I would always tell like Daryl like, oh, by 30 I'll just sober up and everything's gonna be great. And I was like, why do I have to wait till then? You know, maybe I could just sober up now and everything can get better now, and it has. I mean,
you sound just like very similar to Russell Brand actually when I spoke to him.
I saw that interview. It was amazing.
He was the same. He basically had pushed all the physical boundaries, you know, through drinks, through sex, through relationships, through career. The only place he hadn't yet gone with spirituality and mysticism, and that's now where he's trying to find his meaning and purpose. But as I always say to people, if you're not happy, you're going to have to watch your life again on the other side. Is what you're doing right here, right now, something you want to revisit? You're going to see it all again. So you better make sure that you're creating a great show when you have to see it all again. Don't waste a precious moment, you know, of your life. But also the afterlife is right here, right now. People have this idea that you die and go to heaven. It's not. The afterlife you are creating in every moment through your thoughts, through your actions, through your words. You are creating it right now. Heaven truly is a place on earth. It just continues. So it's there's no division. Just as there is no division between waking and sleep, your consciousness is still you. You just go into an altered state of consciousness. When you fall asleep, you're still, your essence, your spark is still you, but you go into a different reality. And I can explain why that reality is different. It's the reality of your unconscious, and they do things differently there. They speak in the language of an artist, and you, Meghan, will understand that. They speak in the language of a poet, an artist, a musician in dreams, through symbols, through metaphors, through puns, through associations. And that's why dreams are often very difficult for people to decode, because they look at them literally. You shouldn't look at them literally. You look at them symbolically. Remember back in school when you had to interpret poems?
Yeah, it's that.
That's how you interpret your dreams. They're not meant to be, in very rare cases, they can be literal. That's a very different category. But the great majority of cases, they are symbolic and psychological. If you dream of a car, for example, it's your direction in life. It's not an actual car that you need to go and buy. And if you're in the car, are you a passenger or are you driving your own car? That's really, your dreaming mind's talking to you. Because if you're a passenger, it wants you to be in the driving seat. It's sending you all these signals, and people just need to learn to think like poets, think like artists. Go back to English literature at school, where you had to go through each line. That's prophetic fallacy, that's association, that's metaphor. That's how you decode your dreams. And just understanding that can be life-changing, because what you find then is your dreams are offering you, brainstorming for you and offering you perspectives on your waking life you wouldn't think of when logic and reason are squashing your intuition when you're awake, because your intuition is unchained at night. Your creativity.
Examples.
That's why
a couple things at you.
Yeah, but that's why anxiety can hit you and you're like, I don't get this, I feel fine, and then you have nightmares all night and it's trying to explain to you that thing is really bugging you.
Okay.
And you need to get it out.
Yeah. Definitely have a lot of that. Well,
get your stuff
before the marathon, because these are my most recent dreams that I can remember. I forget a lot of them, but they're all crazy. But so I flew to New York. I'm staying at my friend's place. It's it's not my bed.
This is a dream, right?
Now I'm about to get to the dream. This is my sleeping situation, so I don't know if that affected my dreams. But I kept telling myself I'm ready for the marathon. I'm gonna finish the marathon. I will finish the marathon. But all my dreams when I was there prior to the marathon, they all were dealing with these spiders, and these spiders were kind of attacking me until I made friends with the spiders, and then I had to kind of figure out.
You had to be friends with them?
At the end of the dream, I was okay with the spider, but in the beginning, it was terrifying, and they were.
We're gonna go deep now. We are gonna go deep.
Let's go there, Theresa.
Spiders. And then during the marathon, it was very difficult for me. My knee gave out halfway through, and I had to finish it in severe pain.
You're psychic.
It took me 6 hours. It was not ideal. And
but you saw that coming in your dreams, and you're psychic, just like me.
Did the spider dreams have something to do with the marathon?
I'm sure you are psychic siblings. I'm absolutely sure. But spiders, let's look at the symbolism.
Okay.
It's about the feminine. It's about strong women in your life, that there may be a little bit of fear.
Okay.
It's about, and it's about also the feminine aspect within you.
Right.
And harnessing that and nurturing it, the intuitive part of you. Look at the ancient symbolism of the spider. It's also mystery and wisdom and weaving a web, but it is very strongly associated with the feminine, strong female influences in your life. Now, there's fear there.
Money.
Now, I don't want to go too personal because dreams are very intimate, but you need to look at that. That's what your dream's talking to you about. Your relationship with women in your life, but also the feminine traits within you that you need to not recognize as a weakness, but as a strength.
Because you're getting emotionally stronger and nicer.
Well, what's interesting about that is by mile 20, my mom is sending me messages and their voice notes, their texts. They're like, you're going to finish this, Ryan. You're actually kind of close to, my friend JoJo and Ben, and I'm starting to tear up a little. I'm like, what's happening here? I don't do this. I don't tear up.
You didn't tell me this.
Yeah, I did. I told you this.
You didn't tell me you cried. You didn't tell me you cried.
I said I teared up a little, and I was just like, "This feels good, though. This feels right. I'm supposed to feel emotional. It's the marathon. I'm at mile 20. I didn't think I was going to finish it at mile 15. I thought I was going to have to go home in the medical tent, but we're going to finish this thing."
You know what, Theresa? Ryan never cries, really. He bottles it up his whole life. And
Rare
only a
occasions.
few times he would like once out of his whole life he punched a hole in the wall, and that was his meltdown. And I
That's
think
why
he
he's
needs
dreaming of spiders, because
yes.
real men cry.
Right.
I think you need a little
I'm becoming
more
a real man.
just sit and cry, dude.
Yeah, it's
So that's
it's
the spiders.
It's a relief. It's cathartic, and it's that's what your dream's showing you. It's all about those feminine traits, or what we consider to be feminine within you, and embracing it and not fearing it. There's nothing to fear, because actually spiders are very lucky creatures. They tidy up our houses for they're actually beautiful creatures. People have an irrational fear of spiders. They are more frightened of us than we are of them. I do actually like spiders, but for you, it's about the feminine. Okay. And strong female influences in your life as well, feeling you've got to live up to them maybe, or match them or whatever. So that, as I said, dreams, I do find with dreams, they get very, very personal, because actually dreams, you're sharing a piece of your soul. People don't realize that when you share a dream, so I treat it with great respect. It is a part of your soul, your intuition talking unfiltered. And people just laugh and say it's a dream. And whenever I've done podcasts and people share their dreams, it's so deep.
Interesting.
What about I've my husband and I, because my husband's very into this. He's from California and he knows it all. But we used to have this cute little app that when you typed in something in your dream, it would explain it for you. So if it was like lion, I've noticed something with animals attacking me, and like spiders and stuff. But with like shark or something, it was like you're overwhelmed. And the other night I had a dream that a shark had me at my waist in his mouth and just took me away.
Dreams, yeah.
Sharks are a thing. Do you know what sharks mean?
Sharks, of course, it is a sign of overwhelm. You look at the symbolism of sharks; they are killers. So it could either be something in your waking life that you feel is out to get you, or it could be an attitude that you have that isn't actually helpful for you right now, is actually trying to cut off something or silence something. Sharks are killers. So what within yourself are you trying to kill? Do you know? Or is there something in your outside life that you feel quite is out, not out to get you, but is not in your best interest? That there's something, that's something that you need to watch out for. But your dreaming mind is pointing that out to you in the only way it can, which is dreams speak in the language of pictures and symbols. It's pictures and symbols. Yeah. But it doesn't want you to fear it. It's using tough love, a shocking image, to make sure you remember it. Because if it used a gentle image like, sunflower and roses, you would wake up and not think about it. You think about the shark because it brings fear. Your dreaming mind does that on purpose. It will resort to tough love. It wants you to reflect on, who is the shark? Is it within me? Is it around me? And what can I do to escape or free myself? It wants you to think. Dreams want you to reflect, you see. That's why nightmares are a gift. And I've gone on a mission to try and get people to not fear their nightmares. It is your nocturnal intuition, the part of you that sees the bigger picture of your life, really screaming out loud. There's something you're not noticing in your waking life, and you really need to. And I'm going to scare you into noticing it.
Wow.
Because if you think...
I'm like thinking back to all my dreams now.
Dude.
It's pretty wild.
Mine all makes sense.
Yeah, same.
Think of your dreams as thoughts of your heart, because during the day, our hearts don't get a look in because our head is running the show. But our heart notices things that our head misses and doesn't allow. But at night, you see, our heart can really talk to us and get us to really reflect on what matters. And your dream will tell you what you don't know already. Your dreams will tell you what you don't know, but you need to know. That's another important thing.
Wow.
That's
what?
awesome.
You have more examples?
Well, yeah. I mean, now I'm thinking of on a flight back with a certain someone, she was just like, you fell asleep and I couldn't wake you up and you were holding onto my hand and you wouldn't let go of my hand. And I thought you were like dying because it was like a long week of drinking.
Partying.
But in my dream, we were in like this black abyss and she was getting pulled away from me and I was getting pulled another direction and I was trying to hold on to her, but I couldn't, and we let go, and then
this is sad.
But and then it turned out to be what would happen in our relationship. So you're saying that dream is somewhat of a premonition, or my soul?
Yup.
He's
psychic.
I'm sure he is, but dreams are more, you're in a hall of mirrors. It's an aspect of your own personality that you may feel that you're losing hold of and which you want to pull back. Only you know what that is. Again, another misconception in dreams is we think we dream about other people, but actually these people symbolize aspects of our own personality that we need to integrate, face, understand, deal with to become whole. Wow. And that's why nightmares, again, are so important, because in your nightmares, you meet your shadow side. Now, in psychology, the shadow side is the part of us filled with greed, with hate, with anger, with negativity. And everybody has a shadow side. Being a good person isn't ignoring your shadow or repressing it. Just as there's day and night, we have a shadow and a light side. It's just part of being a human being. But during the day, of course, we want to be nice people. We repress that. However, for our evolution, we need to meet that shadow, learn from it, and then when we're awake, choose not to act on it, because that's the definition of being strong and having inner strength, is knowing you have the potential for toxic, negative behavior, but not acting on it. It's not denying it exists. That's not being strong. It's knowing you have the capacity for evil, you have the capacity to hate, you have the capacity to cheat and lie, but choosing not to act on it. Is that great story, isn't it, about the two wolves within us, one filled with hate and greed and envy and lust, and the other filled with empathy, compassion and love. And the little boy asked the elder of the tribe, which wolf wins in this battle? And the elder says, the one you choose to feed. Our life is all about our choices. But too many of us deny that we have the shadow side, but we do. But in our dreams, we get a chance to meet it, to face it, to say, okay, that's within me, but when I wake up, I'm not going to act on it.
Gotcha. Okay, now I'm okay with a lot of like twisted and dark dreams that I have.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
denying it. Too many people deny it. Too many people deny it and repress it. That's not being a good person. That's being someone in denial. Because we have it all within us. I'm sorry, we do. There's just supposed to say it's day and night.
And again, everyone we see in our dreams they're not actually them. It's a piece of our consciousness.
Yeah, like in Inception, when all the, when all the characters look at Leonardo DiCaprio, they got it, because Christopher Nolan, the director, he's a lucid dreamer. He's big into dreaming. Most of his movies are inspired by visions in his dreams. And he did Inception because he wanted the world to understand their dreams more. And the power and potential of their dreams. Every character, every color, everything in your dreams is you, symbolically, different aspects of your personality. And that's a big, big concept to get your head around. But you are actually dreaming you. That's why cheating dreams are nothing to worry about, really, because people wake up and think, oh, I've had an affair in my dreams with someone. It's nothing to worry about. It's an aspect of your personality you either need to face and integrate or deal with or understand better. For example, if you dream of having an affair with your boss and you're quite a serious person, but your boss has a sense of humor, but you don't fancy your boss, but you have a dream affair, your dreaming mind's saying, come on, lighten up. You need a bit of that humor. Do you see what I mean? Into your life. So it's aspects of yourself. So cheating dreams, you're really actually having an affair with yourself.
Wow. Wait, I had so many dreams in the beginning of dating my husband that I cheated on him. I think because of his past girlfriends have cheated on him too. And I always woke up like so terrified, like I actually did it. And in the dream, I always got to the point where he found out and told me and was like, I'm done with you. And I was like begging him to not leave me. No. I woke up and was like, I would never do that. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all about your own personality. It's aspects of yourself and you thinking, have I let myself down in some way, or are we not spending enough time together? It's all these things that are going through your mind, and then your dreaming mind dramatizes that in a kind of like story or drama.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a dream the other night. My dad was just yelling at me like, "You're a piece of shit," and you're like,
my goodness,
not doing anything with your life, and you're
that's
fucking like,
to yourself.
It's myself to myself. Oh my god!
You say that in person too. When you're awake, you say, "I'm a piece of shit." You're not.
Just like, get it together. I'm like, I'm trying. But it's not my dad. It's me.
It's your inner self kick. It's your inner critic.
I am mean to myself in my dreams. Oh my god!
Boy.
How do we work on that? Just like try to be easier.
Understand the dreams and see what lessons they're trying to teach you. And yes, in your daily life, be a little bit kinder, be a bit more compassionate to yourself. Your dreams want you to fall in love with yourself. That's the whole goal of them. That they want you every night to sleep and dream, and then in the morning to remember those dreams, decode them, and bring the precious, priceless insights into your waking life to help you evolve. The purpose of your dreams is to help you evolve, because that's why we're here on this earth. It isn't to be hugely popular, it isn't to get loads of money, it isn't to be famous, it isn't to get masses of likes. It's to evolve and learn and find meaning and purpose in that learning. And the foundation stone of that, the first step, is self-knowledge, because most of us have no idea who we truly are. We try and get our identity outside ourselves through our career, through our relationships, through stuff. And that's where the problems start, because you're like a reed blown in the wind, because these things can all vanish, right? It's that having that sense of who am I, understanding yourself. Now, that's a journey of a lifetime. But once you start understanding yourself, which is the beginning of all wisdom, that begins to move to self-love, which is, again, is a big journey for most of us, because a lot of us have issues with actually liking ourselves, really liking ourselves.
Yep. Number one.
That takes that. I don't know why, but anyway, that takes a lifetime. It's an endless journey. Your dreams and your intuition by day, your dreams by night are helping you tune into your heart and fall in love with yourself. Because once you fall in love with yourself, you're much better able to help others and give to others. And you sense your interconnection with everyone and everything that we spoke about with the near-death experiences, which is bliss. That is bliss, when you actually can see heaven in a grain of sand and eternity in an hour. And that takes a while, but that's why we're here. And if you believe in life after death, the evolution continues. There are more infinite possibilities and learning out there for us. But as long as you're learning, you're growing and finding your meaning. The worst thing is when you say, I know everything. Just keep curious. And dream decoding is a way to be forever curious about the work of art that all of us are. We're all utterly unique. And dreams can help us really understand ourselves better and realize just how fascinating we are. And then if you go into the dream state and start influencing your dreams, you can be or do anything in your dreams. That's the ultimate high. Forget parties, forget psychedelics. If you can actually know you're dreaming when you're dreaming, oh my goodness, what can you do?
I know. Hey, will you come to every Christmas every year for me? I want to adopt you in my family.
Oh, thank you.
And I just want you to talk to my dad for like 3 hours.
You are truly magical.
Everything you say, I want to tattoo all over my body.
I'm excited for life now. I get to continue this journey of finding myself.
I cannot wait for everyone to hear this. You are everything. I need to read all your books.
Yeah.
No.
Before I take all your time, can I ask you one more thing? How do you feel about psychics who talk to dead people? Because I really want them to be real. And I love Theresa Caputo so much. I was literally on her show.
Which ones are scams?
Which ones are real? I think I can't explain her stuff because it sounds so damn real.
About 5 years ago, because I've always been collecting anecdotal stories of afterlife communication, but I always steered clear of talking about go to a medium because of the possibility of fraud. So I decided to work with scientists and neuroscientists researching mediums and doing scientific testing on them, these blind studies. And I work very closely with them now. A medium is scientifically endorsed and has a code of ethics. Those kind of mediums who pass the scientific testing, and there's a place called the Windbridge Institute, which actually does proper blind studies of mediums, totally cold conditions on a phone where they have no idea who they're talking to. to see if they can get proof of survival. Now, someone who passes that rigorous testing also is quite humble and does it because they have to. It's a vocation. I would 100% recommend them, and especially people who don't charge massive amount of money. And you can find those mediums. They are out there in spiritualist churches, some of them who do it because it's their calling, or scientifically endorsed, or who have a code of ethics. Now, this code of ethics involves only going once or twice to the medium. You should never, ever become codependent on a medium. A medium or psychic that you need to visit regularly is not a true medium or psychic. There's someone who's fleecing you for money.
Yes, I agree with that.
So now we get celebrity mediums and psychics. Now, I haven't researched celebrity mediums and psychics. I do know many of them. I've actually worked on books with them and studied them and gone to their demonstrations. I believe these people started with genuine psychic gifts, perhaps like you two have. However, when you start wanting to promote a book about your psychic powers and visions, when you go on tours, you have to perform. And from all I know about the connection to the other side, it's a bit like the internet. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
So there would have to be, because they have to constantly be on show, and that has to be damaging to your psychic and mediumistic abilities. I would avoid celebrity mediums at all costs, and I would check out scientific and parapsychology research units associated with universities who are studying mediumship and psychic ability. And also, if you do go to a medium or a psychic, just go once. It can be a great kickstart. I can compare them to antidepressants in a way. If you're feeling down, you take antidepressants to get out of the hole, but never, ever become dependent, because the mark of a great psychic or medium is that they want you to be your own medium, your own psychic. You establish your connection to the afterlife, your understanding that death ends a life, not a relationship. You fine-tune your own intuition. If you're following or dependent on a psychic or medium, that is dangerous, because that's guru territory. And Netflix is filled with things like Holy Hell and all that.
I think I would only go if I lost, because I luckily haven't lost anyone in my immediate family. But if I lost someone in my immediate family, I think I would look up one and be
word of mouth is good, but once is enough. If they can't get proof of survival,
just to get that one closure of like, I know they're all right and I'll see them again.
Trouble is with you two is you're so well known. Google.
True, I know
you'd have to go in a disguise or something. That is the problem these days. The psychic or medium must not know who you are, because they will ask leading questions. It's very easy to find out about you. But also, as I say, I believe these people do have gifts, and that maybe they are a channel. But it's for you to find that connection with the other side, you to visit your loved ones in your dreams and your memories. That is afterlife communication.
We got one question. We did lose our great-grandpa when I was like in the middle of a tour. And it was a Jingle Ball tour, so it was like 30 shows. And we were really young. I was like 22, and it was right before my birthday. But we both randomly got dreams after he passed. And I don't ever dream about Pepe, like that's his name. But it was like I was with Pepe, he was drinking his beer and his potato chips, eating them, and was like, "Hey, like I'm good, and like I'll miss you." And I had a very similar he's on our mind because we just found out he passed.
I was like crying, I'm sorry, and he's like, "It's okay, it's all right." Like
because we didn't get to say goodbye. Have you heard stories like that where they visit you?
Yes, and there is research to show that in over 90% of cases, when people dream of a departed loved one, it really helps the healing process. Again, it reminds you that death ends a life, not a relationship. Now, I've talked to you about symbolic and psychological dreams, and that's about 99.5% of dreams. There is a 0.5% of dreams which do not fall into that category, and afterlife connection dreams fall into that very rare category, as do precognitive dreams. I've also worked with neuroscientists on a book about that called The Premonition Code, where people sense the future in their dreams. There's a very different feel to those kind of dreams. If you have an afterlife dream or a precognitive or a telepathic dream, it will have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It will feel very realistic, as you said. It'll be like the people are actually there. Symbolic and psychological dreams, they are like a music video. They're fragments. They're like a poem.
Gotcha.
They don't seem to have you just remember flashes, fragments. They're very, very surreal. And they're just as positive and healing, but there are that rare category of dreams, which you both seem to have had, which are potentially psychic, and celebrate them when you have them. Never fear them, because it's exciting. It really is exciting that you've had that. And people who say that they don't have any afterlife communication, I always say the first time, have you dreamt of your departed loved one? And they said, oh yeah, I did. I said, there you go. They're reaching out. In some cultures, it is believed that dreams are the portal, the doorway between this life and the next. And there is one culture, the Para tribe, where, it is believed that every night when you go to sleep, you die. And then the next morning, if they've slept for a long time, they give themselves a new name because they believe they are a new person, that they've been to the world of spirit and they've been reborn. Wow. It's absolutely beautiful. It is a kind of a mini death because science doesn't know what dreams are. There is that theory they're random firings of the brain, but increasingly now sleep and dream experts are saying dreams are vital for your emotional, psychological, and if you believe in spiritual health. Because studies show that if people don't dream recall regularly, there's an increased risk of depression and anxiety. Mm-hmm. We don't know what dreams are, but it seems like we need to go to sleep to dream, that we have to have dreams to feel holistically good. And as a dream researcher, as a dream writer, that's, forgive the pun, a dream come true for me when this research came out, that dream recall is good for you.
I mean, I feel 10 times better.
So, we're
good
normal.
Sleep, good dreams.
We're normal and thriving because we dream so much.
Yes. Don't
say. I thought it was opposite.
I thought we were
no. But during COVID, the lockdown dream phenomenon was the dreaming mind trying to help us get through this difficult time by sending us all these dreams, because people were reporting weird and wonderful dreams everywhere. It was like, sleep and dream research labs were being inundated. I'm having all these really weird dreams, and it was your dreaming mind doing what it wants to do, trying to help us and actually trying to show to us that there's more to life than the material. When you go to the dream state, who are you? Where are you? It's a wonderful alternate reality, exciting. And The Matrix is back in December, so I'm excited about it.
Wow.
That's all about, alternate realities. But a lot of producers and directors get this. A lot, James Cameron, Christopher Nolan, the Wachowski brothers and our sisters, they are all very vivid dreamers. A lot of scientific discoveries, a vision in a dream. A lot of novels, a lot of literature, a lot of art, music. Paul McCartney's song Yesterday came to him in a dream. The dream state is creativity, intuition, unfiltered, unlimited, unchained. Celebrate it, even when it's dark. Remember what I said. You need to make friends with your shadow. You need to accept it, but choose not to act on it. Nightmares. I mean, Stephen King's novel Misery was inspired by a vision in a dream. He dreamt he was trapped in his house and one of his fans broke his legs and forced him to write and fed him to the pigs. Frankenstein was a dream. Mary Shelley dreamt the plot of Frankenstein. This was her meeting her shadow, and then she created the first sci-fi novel. I
gotta start writing my dreams down.
Write them down. You don't know. Google was inspired by a vision in a dream that Larry Page had.
No way.
He changed the world. The world was changed because of a vision in a dream. He dropped out of Stanford, had a dream that he could download because he was obsessed with computers. He had loads of old computers in his room, and he had a dream that he could download everything on one web page. Got up in the middle of the night, did the math and thought this might work. 2 years later, Google. So the world was changed by a dream. Dreams do change lives.
The world.
I love this.
I love this so much. I adore you. Please come to Christmas. I'll get you a flight.
Oh, you make me cry. Silly. And just thank you for your interest in this. It's wonderful.
It's fascinating.
No, we need to do more episodes on this because you are everything.
Infinite. We haven't even tried.
Infinite.
I have so many questions, but oh my God. Yeah, we'll figure this out. My brain is exploding with happiness. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry it is so late there. But
it's all right. It's perfect dream time, and my pets are all asleep, so that's lovely.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, Theresa, where can we find all of your info, all your books? Will you throw us everything? Do you have an Instagram, a website?
Well, I am. I'm not really great with social media, but my publishers have forced me, so I am on there now. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and I have www.theresachung.com.
And how do you spell Cheung?
It's forget the E, Cheung. My husband Chinese, so it's a lot of people say, "Whoa, where's that name come from?"
Yeah, amazing! Awesome. Wow, Theresa, thank you for making me feel like a normal person, and for making me so happy. You've made my whole week. I mean, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm going to cry now. This is great, and I'm going to play this to my kids so they hear it.
Please, yes, hey kids, your mom is the coolest mom in the entire world.
Thank you.
Listen to her. Wow, I love that so much.
Well, I hope everybody has sweet dreams and love your dreams. Because if you love your dreams, you're actually loving yourself, because you are still you in your dreams, just in a different symbolic pictorial world. Love it.
Bars.
Your night vision.
Night vision.
Night vision. That's what you can get a tattoo of. Night vision. Night vision. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you so much, Theresa. Thanks for coming on the Workin On It pod. We love you. Mwah. Thank you. Go to bed. Have the best dreams.
Sweet dreams.
Thank you.
Sweet dreams.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm excited to read all those books. We got to read every book that she's ever done.
I feel normal.
But also inspired to live and learn to love myself and continue this dream journey. I just have to study my dreams. I'm going to write them down. I swear to God. Dude, I've had songs written in dreams that were like, this is a banger. And then I forgot
because
it.
Because you're a songwriter. Believe in yourself. I've done that too.
Maybe I should have wrote, what if it was? Whatever. There's more to go. Maybe it'll come back.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm writing my dreams down though.
I am too. Everyone watching this, write your dreams down. Challenge yourself. Figure out what's really going on.
Learn
because
about
there's
you.
A lot. And I love that it's your body and your heart and soul are fighting to help you love yourself.
Help you in your
through
awake
your
state. Through your night state. Night vision. That's what it was.
Night vision.
Night vision. Use the night vision for your day vision.
You heard it here first, guys. On the Workin On It pod.
All right. What
is
do
there
you
a
think? TikTok. I have a TikTok for you.
I have nothing. I didn't do my homework.
This
I'm so
one
sorry.
TikTok will work for all.
Great.
It's great on topic. Energy moon, power of the moon.
I didn't ask about any of this shit.
I know. It's
a whole nother subject.
Has this past week felt really off to you? Like you're super restless, but you're also having weird ass dreams when you can't sleep? We are currently in the middle of eclipse season, with the partial lunar eclipse on November 19th, followed by the total solar eclipse on December 4th. Eclipse season is pushing you towards transformation, and the energy can feel kind of wonky. Try to focus on the things that are feeling stagnant in your life, and get ready to break free from them. Good luck and follow for how to use these eclipses to your advantage.
Yes, nobody is more sensitive than you when it comes to moons.
Yeah, the moons really get me. But did that not make you feel like there was someone behind him using their arms?
Oh, yeah. I was like,
his body was frozen, but he's got his friend using hands.
1,000%. Go on YouTube and watch this because that was exactly that.
Yeah, so I saw the eclipse the other night. It was dope. Yeah. Crystal.
I never see that cool stuff.
I was put your crystals out to charge? Gaming. No.
We gotta charge the crystals. We gotta get crystals. It just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't charge. I can't do that.
Seems like a lot of work.
I was gaming and she was like, "Yo, I guess there's an eclipse." So I walked outside. She had bad luck. She's a little farther north.
Who's she?
I am Alex Moore. Check her out on Twitch.tv. The best Twitch gamer in the world.
Is she the blonde one?
Nope.
Anyways.
And so she's like, go see the eclipse, and it was sick. I had a clear sky. She had a little foggy sky, unfortunately, so she didn't get to see.
Is she the one I played with?
Nope.
All right.
Her husband, Gabe, you wrote with him 10 years ago. He was in the boy band a long time. I forget the name of the boy band.
Oh my goodness! Yes, love her.
I'm Alex Moore.
Love them.
There she
is great. Alex Moore,
the best Twitch gamer in all the gamers. And yeah, so I go under there and I just manifested some stuff.
Did you feel sensy?
I wanted to get naked and bask in the moon, but
in the cold plunge.
Show up on the cameras.
Only Daryl watches those too.
I know. You'd be like, it's a naked guy. It's just me howling at the moon. But yeah. So use that moon, folks, till December 4th or something. It's doing stuff.
Wow. Mommy's birthday is December 3rd, so.
Ooh.
Don't forget to tweet her, okay? Thanks for listening to this podcast episode. We love you so much. Check us out on Workin On It Pod everywhere.
All socials, you already know. And
okay, bye.
Bye.
Working on